Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Small Brain Gang, where we do all the small brain things, and this is the Small Brain Podcast. And welcome back, everyone. We are your hosts today. My name is Ronan Maverick, and today, as always, my partner in crime, Luke Nero.
Hey, everybody, how's it going?
And today's episode of the Small Brain Gang podcast is going to be about real life versus stream life, and then balancing those two together to make a harmony instead of chaos, and the mental effects it can have on you.
Yeah, IRL over TTV every time.
Right. Real life events and things and stuff over Twitch TV and streaming, always, hands down.
Hands down.
So basically, yeah, that's what that means. IRL versus over TTV means real life versus Twitch TV. And there's plenty of things to go over today. And so be sure to crack a cold one and settle in. I mean, it has to do with all streamers of any size, whether you're partner, whether you're absolutely massive on Twitch, or if you're just starting out. It happens to everybody. So new streamers, biggest thing is the starting to get traction grind, I think is what we like to call it.
Yeah.
Just you start streaming and you feel like, oh, I have to be on every day. I have to stream for 8 hours a day. And that absolutely just drains you.
Yeah. When streaming starts replacing things in your life, that's when it becomes unhealthy. So this happens for, as Ronan said, people who are ginormous streamers, or even just me and Ronan. We have occasions where we're unhealthy streamers, where we stream too much, let things down in the IRL world, and it can really tax you mentally. This is going to be kind of coupled with some mental health things along with streaming, just to make sure that everyone's out there streaming in a good, healthy way. One of the big mistakes that newer streamers or streamers who have just started getting traction, like they just got their first 5 or 10 viewers, they often feel pressured to increase their stream days, stream more often, not lose the grind, not lose the traction, stream more, stream longer, sleep less, get off work early, things like that. And that often leads to them relaxing less and getting more stressed, and it can cause the grind to be significantly more painful, because the grind is real. Ask Ronan and me. The grind is awful, but it's a part of Twitch, so make it as stress-free as possible, because it can be brutal.
It can be, definitely. And like Luke, you had all the mixer stuff, so your grind back up wasn't as horrible. But for me, I didn't have any kind of following background. I started at ground zero followers.
Well, with the whole Mixer thing, I grinded on Mixer so much, but my path to affiliate wasn't very long. That's true, but man, losing 95% of your viewers in a day with the Switch, it's definitely a grind getting back up there. I'm still only halfway back to where I was on Mixer.
Right. And that grind is, you're streaming every day from anywhere from 5 to 8 hours a day, every single day. And then you look at your stats and nothing's changing. Yeah. It's a punch in the head. And you just sit there and think, oh, well, maybe I'm just not cut out for this. Maybe I'm just bad at it. Maybe I'm just, I'm not cut out for the stream game. And you are. It just takes a lot of work, and it's smart work, not hard work.
And because it's going to be smart work, don't start skipping parts of your life because you might hit it on Twitch. I'll let you know now, the odds is very small. There's only 21,000 partners on Twitch with 2 million people going live every day.
Damn, those are big numbers.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
The odds are against you, so stream smarter, not harder. Because even if you stream for 5, 10, 15 hours a day, if you're pulling in 1 to 2 viewers, you're still on page 17 of COD, So we talked about before what's a good way to pull in viewers to increase your numbers and different things like that. But today we're just going to be talking about the mental health and the IRL. Don't give up the real life stuff, because that's what's going to keep you grounded and keep you sane through all of this.
For sure. You have to, and this comes down to a big thing that me and Luke are both absolutely horrible at, is making a stream schedule. We don't have one, and we really need to. But if you have a set stream schedule where you say, I'm going to be on Monday, Tuesday, and Friday, maybe Saturday for 4 hours max. Those are your times you're going to be streaming.
And that's going to do actually significantly more for you if your community and people who are there see a schedule. They'll be like, oh, I came into the end of this one. Next on Friday, I'll come in earlier at this time. It actually helps with growth. The reason why I don't have a stream schedule right now is just because my hours are so crazy with the kids and my wife's schedule. I am going to be talking to my wife this week about me getting a schedule because it's something that's really important.
For sure. And even if you have a schedule and something in your real life comes up, like 4th of July barbecue, and you were like, oh, I was supposed to stream that day. Dude, it's 4th of July.
Yeah.
People are going to understand that you go to a family barbecue and go to the fireworks show.
Right.
It's fine. Go to family barbecues, tell your community, hey, I'm going to be not streaming today. And they'll be like, all right, that's cool. No problem. So just don't feel the pressure to, I have to stream this day, so I can't go to this real life family event or work or studying or whatever you've got going on in your life. Don't feel the pressure to be like, oh, I have to stream. I have a commitment to stream. No, you do, but you don't.
Yeah. And moving on to the next topic right here is that streaming is stressful. And if it's your main focus, is going to be stress, you're going to get burnt. I've been burnt. Me and Ronan both have been burnt from streaming in an unhealthy way, to where we've then just taken a week, if not longer, off because we just couldn't keep going. And that's us with the community. I can't even imagine people who don't even have that traction yet.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine that.
It's so stressful.
The amount of stress that the people that don't have a community. Oh man, it's just I can't even think in words right now to describe how taxing and brutal it can be.
Well, if streaming is your number one focus, one of two things happen. If you start succeeding, then you just start rapidly wanting to pursue it more, and so you might spend more and more and more and more time on it and adding more and more stress to it, which is an unhealthy way to do it. But also, if you're lacking, if you're going down in numbers, then you're putting in all this effort for stress plus the, oh shit, I'm bad. Oh no, I'm doing something wrong. We're trying to help you guys not do our mistakes of streaming in an unhealthy way.
Right. And I would like to put in that if you do get some traction, say you went from 5 viewers to 5 to 8 viewers, and you're up to 12, 15 viewers at a time for one stream, and then the next stream you still have those 15. Sure, go ahead and grind it out for a little bit, but don't overdo it. Just don't push yourself over the limit.
Even just doing a little bit more, hey, I normally only stream these 3 days. I'm doing a surprise stream today for this reason. But still keep to your schedule. Don't just break up a schedule because you're doing good and then start streaming 7 days a week. It's you don't want the real life to start lacking, especially with relationships. If you have a spouse or a significant other or just your parents or friends and they're making comments like, hey, we don't really see you anymore. It's especially with spouses. If your spouse isn't on board with your streaming hobby or career, when you start making everything only about that, you're also lacking support when you actually are in the IRL world. And then you have another stress of, well, why did you spend all day streaming and you missed this, you missed this, you missed this? Make sure you nurture the IRL stuff. It's way more important than Twitch is. 100%.
100%. And that's a big thing, especially for people who are just starting streaming who don't have that online community yet. Try to engage the people in your real life, family, friends, spouse, coworkers, anybody that will listen, be like, hey, I have a Twitch stream. Maybe you want to come check it out and see what it's all about. And then maybe we can play some games together on stream live. And then to start out, that can be your support group, especially friends. Friends are really good at this.
Yeah. And even spouses, my wife's not a gamer at all. I've asked her a few times if she want to be a mod or jump in, but she's just not. But I've know Mr. Kupla. Mrs. Kupla is one of his biggest supporters there every stream. His wife, best mod, best person he plays with too. It's a really healthy way to do it when you're including that person in your hobby rather than replacing that person with your hobby.
Right, exactly. You want to find ways to include the people in your life to what you enjoy, which is your stream, whether it's a hobby or a job.
And with anything, in order to do it in a healthy way when it comes to eating, drinking, and streaming, you got to have healthy boundaries. You got to have limits, and you got to have a way towards not being a negative thing. Because we talked about last week, actually the week before, because last week we talked to Kupla, talked about the week before on if you haven't started streaming yet, why not? And it was a very encouraging thing of just do it. Just start streaming, do the grind. And now we're on the opposite side of that. We're like, now that you're doing it, do it healthy. We're not encouraging you to not stream. We're encouraging you to start off healthy rather than an unhealthy way and then just burning out and crashing.
You have to set yourself boundaries with everything. Everything in moderation, as they say.
Yep.
Don't overdo anything, whether it be eating, drinking. I mean, we both enjoy the alcoholic beverage, but
I enjoy food
we do it
more.
responsibly. Always responsibly. So be sure you're streaming responsibly and streaming healthy. Next thing we're going to talk about, I think, is a big topic for the gaming community.
Yeah.
It's absolutely massive.
And it goes hand in hand with the next topic, too, on how it can be a damaging thing if you do it wrong.
Exactly. And that is gaming escapism.
Yes.
And I know every single gamer out there has done this because I know you. We're different. We're different, but we're all the same at heart. I do this a lot. Gaming escapism is where you as a person, you're not feeling a sense of success or accomplishment or positivity in your life. So what do? We go to these fantasy worlds. We go to these sci-fi worlds, these worlds that are created in video games to get that sense of success and that sense of accomplishment because we can't get it in our real lives.
And it's just a way to escape normal, hence the word escapism, real world problems, but not like put them off, but just to have a moment to focus on just enjoying yourself, enjoying a game, having fun and relaxing. And so escapism itself isn't bad. It's when it's gone too far that it can be a problem to where you're just escaping every problem. But I would say that majority of the gamers I know use gaming as some form of escapism. Stop it.
For sure.
You're doing little hand hearts to someone on the phone in the middle of a podcast.
We play games a lot to avoid the depression.
But here's the thing.
That's 100% fact. It may be like a TikTok sound, but it is 100% fact.
Here's the thing. You can ruin your gaming escapism by streaming. I've noticed this. I have always enjoyed Minecraft and Apex as my way to de-stress, detox, relax after a long day. And then guess what? I started streaming those games. And then those games that have never burnt me out before started burning me out. Why? The games are the same. I still enjoyed playing them the same. But the problem with taking your escapism and making it almost a job is it's that. Now there's stress added to your escapism. Now there's a sense of urgency, a sense of due diligence and duty to where you can ruin your form of escapism, which means that you're now lacking that sense of relaxation, that one thing that brought you comfort or, just relaxation. Yeah, or sense of accomplishment. Sure. And you can ruin that through streaming if that's what you turn it into. If you turn it into a stressful job, you're going to lose your escapism. And that's not a healthy thing. Escapisms can be perfectly fine. It's just not if you don't do it the healthy way.
Right. Perfectly fine. And the biggest way is to, at least for me right now, it's just a hobby. It's just something I enjoy doing. So I can still use that escapism while I'm streaming because it's fun. It's my escape and I can get a sense of accomplishment and success out of it. It might not be much, but it's something. Whereas in my real life, I feel a lot of the times like I need to be doing better. I need to be further along than I am right now in my life.
Which kind of leads us into our next topic, which is one that I kind of threw in here since we're talking about mental health issues that can come, or mental health problems that can present themselves while streaming that I brought up with Ronan today, is Ronan has an issue with imposter syndrome. Okay, imposter syndrome is loosely defined as doubting your abilities and feeling like a fraud. It is disproportionately affected in high-achieving people who feel difficult to accept their accomplishments and may question whether or not they deserve any accolades. And that is so true of Ronan. So we have told many times that the Small Brain Gang was my brainchild, my community, and I invited Ronan to be a co-leader because he is an amazing guy, and he would add more to the small. I'm not gonna let you talk right now, so just don't even try. Add more. Add more to the Small Brain Gang than most other people would. But there has been so many conversations I've had with Ronan to where he says, I feel like none of my followers are mine. They're yours. I just joined in there. They all followed me out of obligation. This is a thing where they're not mine. I don't deserve this. I don't deserve this. And he very much doesn't accept any of his accomplishments, that none of them were me. None of them were the Small Brain Gang out of obligation. It was purely out of because we saw.
Oh, you're so good at it. Oh, nope.
What? Oh, so good at what? You can't keep FaceTiming someone during a podcast.
I'm not. I promise, I'm not.
Bullshit. Anyway, so, to where, yeah, he can't accept his accomplishments. Ronan hit high numbers, and he still called me the next day and said, oh, yeah, but I just got raided. And, oh, yeah, but they were just your followers after your stream done. Oh, yeah, but they weren't really there for... He can't accept them. And that's a really big thing. I struggled from the exact same thing when I started on a Mixer, because all my followers, I'm like, I got them all from Psychotic Butcher, and I got them all from Mr. Kupla and Mad Dog. Like, they were supportive, and they brought their communities to me, and so I felt like that no one was there for me. And it took me a long time to understand they are.
But even now, it's still hard to accept, and I still go through the same thing, because he's right. Like, the thing is, I wasn't there at ground zero when the Small Brain Gang started. I was just like, I literally met Luke, and then he was like, we should be stream partners. And I was like, I mean, okay. For some dumb reason, he was like, I like your vibe.
I do.
was like, okay. Like, fine. And then we started doing this, and then my numbers like just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And I went, oh, well, it's because Luke told them to come over and support me.
Have I ever once done that?
I mean, yeah.
No, I've never told them to go over to you. They do it willingly. They love you.
Yeah, but you'd post in Discord and be like, hey, this is the new leader of the Small Brain Gang. Let's, post my link.
After a couple weeks of playing with you. That's the thing. Everyone knew you.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm getting to a point here,
Okay, I'm sorry.
Jesus. Even though that feeling of, oh, they just came over because Luke told them to, that's okay. Because now I've developed my own personal relationships with these members of the community, and now we're the greatest of friends. And
we are the greatest community.
We are. We're not gonna lie to you. We are the greatest community.
You have to hear about it this way, but our community is better than yours.
Sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
We may be smaller, but we're definitely better.
We are small. We're the Small Brain Gang.
Small Brain Gang. But now I have this great relationship where recently I've been a little more active in the community than Luke has, just because he's been busy traveled recently. He's got 3 kids, a wife, like he's busy.
Yes.
And so I've developed these relationships with people where now I feel like, okay, now I understand. They came because of Luke, but now they're here for me.
I don't even think they came because of me. Like, you don't understand. I didn't offer you partnership day one. I noticed when we started streaming Apex together and having...
It's pretty quick.
No, but when we started streaming Apex together, people were more active in my chat, and people wanted to go interact with yours. None of it was me telling them to go over there. It was all they loved our chemistry. Because me and Ronan are very similar in personalities, very hype, very fun, very relaxed at the same time. But we're opposites at the same time. Ronan's ragey, and I have not raged once. And so we have this super fun dynamic. They fell in love with you, and when I saw them fall in love with you, I then posed the question to my mods. I'm like, what do you think of this being a dual streamer community? And Ronan, and all of them instantly were like, fuck yeah, we love Ronan. So none of it was from me.
Which is weird, because I don't get it.
You got to. So imposter syndrome is kind of a big deal. I know I've struggled from it. Ronan struggled from it. I'm sure that a lot of streamers have. When they start getting that success, they start doubting that it's from them. They feel like they're an imposter. They feel like they're fake, and they feel like they don't deserve it. And it's something that really can really hurt you mentally. So just know, if you have met a milestone, even if it came with a few raids from people or some other streamers helping you out, the people who stayed, because they don't have to stay, that's your accomplishment.
Right. And we were going to touch base on this as well. Imposter syndrome doesn't just come from like the way I got roped into the small brain gang. I got asked to be partner, and then all the community members started following my channel. It doesn't come from just being that. It comes from raids. It comes from, people shouting out your channel in their communities on Discord or Guilded or whatever they're on. It comes from any of that. So when you get raided and your numbers skyrockets and you're like, oh, they just came because they're part of the raid. The creator that raided you was like, this person right here is someone that I think is worthy of my community and my support, of our support as a community. So we're going here and let's see what he's got. And then you blow it out of the water. At least last time I got raided, oh my God, they were so happy they raided me. It was ridiculous.
And the thing is that, yes, you may have gotten a bigger increase in numbers from someone else's raid, but the sustainability, them people who stick around, even if you got a raid of 90 people and 10 of them stayed around, those 10 are your accomplishment. Don't write off those 10 that stayed because of your personality and your content because of a raid.
Precisely.
Now we're going to talk about some healthier streaming habits. We've talked about it before, so we won't touch on it super much, but set up a stream schedule.
Hang on. I think it's time. I think it's time that we interrupt this broadcast to bring you Sheltered Cinema.
Sheltered Cinema.
All right, Luke.
Yes.
We got a couple of great movies on the.
How can they be great if I haven't seen them?
Because you're a mole that's been hiding in a hole for God knows how long. Okay.
Sidebar for a second. Sidebar. I am so fucking sick of you guys roping my IRL friends into giving me shit for not seeing movies. My buddy, Christoph Noskov, I have known him for 15 years, is now texting me, you haven't seen this fucking movie? You guys are getting them mad at me.
I know, and it's beautiful. All of Luke's IRL friends, please listen to this and then just text him throughout the day like, what the fuck, man? All right.
Apparently, the most offensive one so far has been not seeing Scooby-Doo.
Dude, oh my God. That's because, like I said before, Scooby-Doo teaches you everything you need to know.
This is a harder time with my friends not seeing Scooby-Doo than it was when I was talking to Ronan and I mistakenly told him I've watched one episode of Dragon Ball Z and hated it.
And I'll admit, Dragon Ball Z is not for everybody. It's a great series if you like that kind of content where it's 11 episodes of them charging up for a super attack and then they move on to the next arc.
Although Ronan did tell me a good anime to watch, and it's probably one of my new favorite animes, Gurren Lagann. It was really good.
Who the hell do you think I am?
I am. Hey, Ronan.
God, I love that show so much.
Don't believe in the me that believes in you. Believe in the you that believes in you.
Believe in the me that believes in you. Let me see you grit those teeth.
He says, don't believe in the me that believes in you. Believe in you that believes in you. And it was really good.
But that's
you
because
didn't tell me he was...
That's because he's grown up later and he has to believe in him that believes in him because of... I'm not going to spoil it. You have to go watch it for yourself.
that one thing that happened, like, the fourth episode, I knew was going to happen. I didn't expect it so soon. It was, like, brutal. Also, that second show you suggested to me, I was watching it on the plane and my wife watched it with me and she actually thought it was quite interesting. It's the first anime she's watched.
Wait, which one?
They're police officers. No, B.
The beginning.
Yeah, she actually was quite interested in it, which is weird. She's never watched anime before.
So, the first movie we have for you today is a great... So, I'm a really big fan of pirate content.
I like pirates. Or are you saying pirating?
Here, anyone that listens to this, comment down in the comment section. Do we have a comment section?
We have Twitter.
We have Twitter. Go to our Twitter, the Small Brain Gang Podcast, or just Small Brain Gang?
Small Brain Gang Podcast.
Small Brain Gang Podcast on Twitter, and let us know Pirates versus ninjas.
Ninjas all
Because
day.
pirates are obviously better.
Bullshit! I will have this argument with you right now. Right
We don't have
freaking
the
now.
time to have this argument right now.
Ninjas would destroy pirates. Oh my!
It's not about destroying, and I disagree. But
we're having a talk later. We are legit having a talk about this.
Pirates are still better. Like,
they're not.
they are though.
Oh my gosh! I didn't know how foolish you were.
So pirate content, and you're gonna find the best pirate content in this movie, Cutthroat Island.
Never heard of it.
Of course you haven't. Why would you? Because you're absolutely awful.
The best pirate content is obviously One Piece.
That's true. Gina Davis, Matthew Modine, great. Oh, it's so good. I can't even describe. Literally, it's about Gina Davis, like, inherits this ship and has to put together this ragtag crew of pirates to go avenge her father and seek the treasure of Cutthroat Island. And it's just phenomenal. It's a great movie, and you definitely need to watch it.
I'm compiling a list of movies I'm going to try watching, but I just don't like movies.
Why? What is your problem with movies?
They're so long.
They're literally like 2 hours, maybe.
Yeah, but see, in that 2 hours, I can watch 4 episodes of a TV show and have 4 different plot lines.
But you'll never get to the end of it. That's the whole point, is to get a conclusion.
Yeah, I just finished 2 seasons in about 2.5 days of Orville, the Star Trek TV series.
Yeah, but what did we talk about? Everything in moderation. You can't stay up all night. I did just binge Year Lie in April in one night. So I get it. But everything in moderation. Go watch Cutthroat Island. I grew up on this movie. Like, this was a staple in my growing up. It's absolutely phenomenal. And Gina Davis is absolutely just fire.
No one comes close to Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Well, you can be wrong if you want to. That's okay.
You're gonna slander Catherine Zeta-Jones in front of me. Have you seen Entrapment?
Of course I've seen Entrapment.
Have you seen Zorro?
Of course I've seen Zorro.
And you're telling me she's not the most gorgeous woman on the planet?
She is. She's definitely one of the tops.
The top.
And our next movie, which is a great movie. I didn't start watching this movie until I was probably late junior high, early high school. My stepdad showed it to me, and it is phenomenal. It is an 80s movie based in the Bronx, I believe. It's called Barry Gordy's The Last Dragon. And it's a kung fu movie based in the Bronx where the main character's name is Bruce Leroy.
Haven't seen it.
Who's been training to become the master of kung fu, and he gets his sensei makes him go on his own journey solo.
So pretty much the exact same plot of Forbidden Kingdom.
No, because Forbidden Kingdom was a great movie too.
Phenomenal movie.
But it's a great movie, and he has to find the meaning of, I can't remember what it is. He has to find the meaning of something, and then once he reaches enlightenment, he gets the power of the glow, and he's trying to get that power of the glow, but he can't do it on his own.
You know, I was on stream the other day, and I got some people extremely mad at me because I informed people that I have never seen any of the Police Academy.
A funny thing about the Police Academy movies, yes, they're great, but it's a certain niche of comedy that you have to enjoy.
I was literally at a movie night where they were watching all the Police Academies, and I walked out and left like a quarter way through the first one because it was so boring.
Like I said, it's maybe it's too highbrow for you.
Too highbrow for
you. I'm sorry that it's not full of dick jokes.
I enjoy one of my favorite movies and books is Count of Monte Cristo.
Oh, dude, you're gonna get me going off on the Count of Monte Cristo?
Dude, it's one of the greatest movies.
Oh, it is.
You're telling me that Police Academy is too highbrow?
It's highbrow comedy.
But
Count
it's
of
not.
Monte Cristo was not a comedy.
No, Blues Brothers was way better than Police Academy, hands down.
Blues Brothers wasn't technically, I guess it could be considered a comedy, but
fun fact: Blues Brothers holds a record for most cars crashed on set because that last chase scene where they crash all the cop cars on the freeway was actually using real cars.
It was, yeah. And why are you telling me? I'm a blues. I can sing every song. I can quote every line, and I can tell you all the facts about that movie.
Oh, what was the other movie we were talking about today that I hadn't seen? Oh, you mentioned it, with the big fat guy. The Mike Mazowski.
Monsters Inc.
No, my Big Mazowski.
Oh, Big Lebowski.
Yeah, he got mad at me because I hadn't seen it.
Yeah, Big Lebowski. It's a great movie. Barry Gordy's The Last Dragon. This is your homework, listeners. You have to go search out these movies and watch them, and then go to our Twitter and tell us what you thought.
That's when this podcast actually takes off, and we actually have like a consistent following and stuff, and we have people interacting with our Twitter. I hope that we do this where we have a movie assignment each week. I think that'd be dope.
Oh, that'd be cool, yeah. And then people can come on our Twitter or hey, if you want to join the community, come join our Gilded server.
Yeah,
because we have talks like this all the time.
Yeah, what was it that our Discord blew up about? Oh, so we had someone who was listening to the podcast, and our whole Gilded blew up because they disagreed with something we said in the podcast, which is perfectly fine. We don't care if someone disagrees. Like we want to talk about it, but
right,
it was
exactly.
about. And so we decided to talk about it because this person, Christoph Noskov, you're listening to this, you know I'm going to talk about you. Christoph Noskov made the comment about you. I'm not sure if you saw this, but you were saying that you don't need 32 gigabytes of RAM, and he was saying he thinks you do.
I did see that. You don't.
And that's what me and Fouts were saying, is that we were like it was literally an hour-long conversation on Gilded. It was blowing up. But we were throwing out different resources, and he had articles and we had articles, and we pretty much came to the conclusion that you don't need 32 gigabytes. If you can afford it, do it, because it makes things easier.
But you don't need 32 gigs of RAM unless you're doing high-end. Gosh, damn it.
Are you okay?
3D rendering or really high processings of media like that, because
which streaming is high processing of media. Let's be real.
It's not. It doesn't even
take 32.
dent my 16 gigs.
No. And that's what we were telling him. We're like, yes, you can find every video out there of streamers telling you need 32 gigabytes of RAM. And that's the point of this podcast, is we're being realistic and we're telling you don't. Because you can find 100 sources out there telling you need 32 gigabytes of RAM, and you don't. But anyway, the whole point of that was our community, we do like talking about, if we ever make a mistake on a podcast, or if you disagree with us on a podcast, just let us know, because we actually do enjoy talking about that.
Heck yeah, we'd love to discuss it with you.
In this case, we were right, so haha, Christoph.
All right, that has been Sheltered Cinema. Be sure to let us know what you think on our Gilded server or our Twitter.
Yeah.
And let us know what you thought of those movies if you happen to watch them. That is your homework, though. Back into the actual topic of today. We've done imposter syndrome, and then we have healthy streaming versus real-life habits.
Yes.
Biggest one we can enforce and instill in you that we don't do?
Not yet. I'm doing it. My goal this week, I have it written down, is to have a stream schedule by next podcast.
Yeah, for sure. I personally, I can't do a stream schedule right now because of my work being so sporadic right now.
Yeah. The thing that's been stopping me from doing a stream schedule has been things like D&D. I try to have it where I do every other night, stream and wife. That's how I try doing it. One night I'm hanging out with my wife, one night I'm streaming. But, like tonight, I'm doing a podcast, which means I'm taking up my stream time for this podcast, which means that yesterday and tomorrow I'd like to hang out with my wife. But also on Mondays we play D&D, which means that Tuesdays I can stream, but Mondays I'm playing D&D, but Tuesdays I want to hang out with my wife because I used up that entire night playing D&D. And this is what we're talking about trying to balance real life with streaming, and it's a very healthy thing to do. I'm still trying to figure it out, trying to get an idea to where my wife does not feel neglected, nor does she feel replaced by my hobbies or my streaming. Trying to keep it a balance, and it's very difficult right now with our schedules and stuff. But I feel like I should have a schedule by next week.
Awesome, and that's gonna honestly, I think that's gonna help you a ton.
I think so too.
With your just. Because I know you get a lot of times where you're stressed about life, stressed about work, and you just life in general. And you're like, I just can't stream. I can't do it.
I will admit, a lot of the times I say I'm too stressed to stream are because I feel a lot of pressure to do a community night, and I don't have the energy for a community night. I have the energy to stream, but I don't have the energy for a community night. And if I feel a lot of pressure, I don't want to let people down. So I would rather spend the night with my wife and miss a community night than just be stressed out or disappoint people by streaming, which is my own personal thing. Another health thing is being a people pleaser on your own channel. You don't have to please anyone else but yourself, because you are the content. If you're worried about what other people think of your content, in that like, oh, well, I guess I won't stream this game because someone came in my chat and asked me to play a different game, that's not okay. And that's not healthy at all. So I'm trying to learn this because I am 100% a people person to a fault, to where if someone asks me to play a game I don't want to play, I'll just tell them I'm not streaming that night because I just don't want to upset them. But I do have to figure out a way to, in a healthy way, be like, hey, I love community nights, I just don't have the energy for it, but I am still going to stream, don't be disappointed.
Right. And as soon as I'm able to set up a schedule, I'm definitely going to do it. As soon as I'm able to. As soon as I have a set work schedule and we have enough work in where I know I'm going to be working these certain hours, then yeah, I'll definitely set up a schedule. Be sure to take time to do things and hobbies outside of streaming. I cannot express this enough. You have to take time away from your computer, away from your Xbox, away from everything, and go outside. Go out, go swimming in the lake. Go out fishing.
Dog.
Go
play with your dog.
Play with your dogs. Yeah, I have 2 of them. I don't even know where they're at right now.
Do not say, I take time away from streaming by going to work. We're talking about having something. You've taken something that used to bring you relaxation and turned it into another form of work.
Right. It's a different hobby and different form of relaxation outside of work, outside of your computer room, outside of your stream life, just outside, away from everything. So you can just take a breath and just not worry about it for a bit. Go axe throwing. Go out and do things.
It could even still be play video games. Just play them off stream. Because we have mentioned before that if you're wanting to make this an actual successful career, you have to put in the work for a 40-hour business day or business week pretty much. You have to be networking, making content in other places. You have to be doing all these things nonstop, that it adds more stress into your life, that's the only form you have of relaxation. You're gonna die. So take a night and play like me and Ronan do this often. I can't stream tonight, I'm too stressed. Can we play Apex? How many times have we done that?
Yeah,
we just played Apex.
Which is what we're planning on doing tonight, right? And that's another big thing. And like, you can enjoy streaming as much as you want. You can enjoy that involvement in a community and trying to build up your stream. But you got to take time off. You got to go outside. You got to take time, just step away for a bit and just breathe. Don't worry about anything about your stream life. Just go out and have fun and do another hobby.
Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Fridays, I'm going to stream from 8 p.m. to 1 in the morning. And then Tuesdays and Thursdays, I would like to dedicate 2 hours into recording or editing something for YouTube or TikTok or something like that. But then 4 hours of just hanging out with friends. And you have to have an outlet more than streaming, because streaming definitely changes the game.
Biggest thing to help with that real life stress or that stream stress and balancing out the two is find yourself a support system. When you're just starting out, if you're just starting, like today was your first stream, go talk to your friends about it. Go talk to the people in your real life. Just be like, hey, I had my first stream today. And then you can show them clips or just show them a bit of the VOD, and you're like, hey, what do you think? And then you can talk to your real life friends until you start building a community or you get invited to a community. Join that community and then bring your friends along. You don't want to leave your real life friends because you got invited to an online community for streaming. Bring your friends in.
That happened to me. I kind of regret it a little bit. I streamed every single day with Nerdy Cat and Bubba. Every day. And then I started getting bigger, and I haven't played with Bubba in, I think, almost a year.
Rough. And that is going to happen. It is going to happen. It's inevitable. You're going to drift apart from people as new people come in, and, back to our other episode, they have real lives too. So they might drift off just because of their own accord. It might not be because you're just not putting in the effort. And that's hard when you get into an online community. Like, it's hard. It's hard because here's the thing for me. If we're friends and you want to continue being a friend, you'll put in the effort. And that's hard to do when you have 85 members in your community. You can't put forth effort to every single person.
When it comes to telling your friends about streaming for a support system, I tried. my friends all think my streaming is dumb. Besides people like Nerdy Cat and Jamonkey. Well, Jamonkey probably still thinks it's dumb, but that's besides the point.
I don't think so. I think Jamonkey. Oh, okay, cool. I was like, motherfucker. Like, we just became best friends the other week.
Yeah. No, him and Nerdy Cat listen to this. I'm just calling him out because he's fun. I love you, boo. But they're talking to my IRL friends about streaming. A lot of them, don't necessarily understand it, and they're not necessarily supportive as I'd like them to be. And so I sought out friendship with like-minded people as well. And so I would go to different people's streams. I've mentioned Psychotic Butcher and Mad Dog Grogan before. And Psychotic Butcher and Mad Dog Grogan, they help me a lot understand things. We have our own little group chat, just the three of us, and we have had a great support system. And we can say things that they'll understand. Like, hey, I had a really low flex day, and I am having a hard time with it. Or, hey, I'm feeling pressure to do this. And they will understand, and they will give you good advice because they have gone through the same thing. So I would honestly encourage you to find other streamers that they can be your support group, along with your IRL friends if they show interest.
For sure, because especially streamers, they know the struggle. They know they know the effects that things can happen, and they can support you and influence you or guide you to healthier habits.
Right, like if you were to tell, I don't know, your sister, oh, I'm streaming, but Luke's the one who built the community, so I just feel like I'm an outsider. But what would her advice be compared to mine, where I'm just like, you're stupid. That's not how it is.
I don't know. I will. That'll be my homework. I'll text her and see what she says.
Because people who aren't in the community or into the gaming or into the streaming aspect of things, they might not understand the dynamics of a lot of things.
Right,
but
for sure.
Still encourage them to be in there. And if you can get them along with you and then you get them an interest in that, that's sweet too. And you can build your own support system.
And even though like your real life people in your life, they may not understand streaming, but if you show passion about it, they're probably going to support you in their own way, at least. Like if that's something, like they'll say, hey, if that's something you're passionate about, go for it. Keep grinding at it.
And this is just the healthy way to stream. Keep in contact. Keep involved, keep your significant other happy, make sure you're handling mental health issues, and just have support. And a stream schedule, obviously. All those things will really help this not be overwhelming and not crushing, because it can be. How many times have I mentioned to you, Rhoda, that I want to quit?
Plenty, and the same for me.
It's crushing sometimes.
It is. You just get, you hit that bottom of the barrel or rock bottom feeling, even though it's completely unjustified.
Yes.
It's completely unjustified. It's just how you go about feeling it. And
the big streamers out there, they will give you terrible advice. They will say, it's a lot of hard work, so if you can't put in the hard work, it's not worth it. And none of them acknowledge it's hard work and it can hurt you. Be healthy about it.
Right.
That's where we wanted to start this whole thing. We've seen so many big streamers just say, oh, anyone can do it. They can't. Not everyone can. And if you're doing it the wrong way, you probably won't either. So don't just do it. Do it healthy way, in moderation, and in a good way, until you're able to financially sustain yourself through streaming. Then freaking go ham. Stream 12 hours a day if you're making money at it.
Right? I mean, that's the dream.
That's the dream. I feel like you would lose a lot of joy streaming as a full-time job. Games wouldn't be the same. They'd hit different.
Yeah, I can believe that. Because at that point, it's not a hobby anymore. It's not something you enjoy. It's a job.
And
I mean, you can enjoy a job, but it's different.
Yeah. I hate when people say like, do a job you love because then you'll never work a day in your life. That's some capitalistic bullshit. Like, I believe in capitalism, don't get me wrong. But that's some bullshit thing to make you just work harder.
For sure.
Like, anywhere you work that you love, it's still work. And it's still draining.
You love and you'll never work a day in your life.
Right. That's not true. You still work.
It's still work.
It's still work. I love my current job. It still get tired when I get home. You know?
Right.
So,
and your job is not taxing.
No, but it's draining. Mentally.
It's draining because it's work.
Yeah. And I love it.
That is all the time we have for today. Thank you all for listening to the Small Brain Gang podcast and dealing with us be idiots in a mic.
As usual. I mean, that's all we are.
For sure.
Yeah. If you have any questions or you have any responses to any of the questions we've answered or just want to interact with us, one of the best ways to do that for us to make a database to talk about on the podcast would be our Twitter or in our Gilded. We really want to build up both of them. So follow us on Twitter, follow us on Gilded. There should be links to both of them over in a description of wherever you're listening this to, and we should be on every platform right now. Guild is great. You can interact with a lot of good streamers, a lot of good support group. We will be the support group for you if you can't find them. We should have mentioned that earlier. If you can't find a good group of streamers to have support, we will be there.
If you guys need a great support group and a great set of streamers and just supportive community members, definitely think about joining the Small Brain Gang. Or don't think about it. I don't care. Just come join.
Do it.
And then we'll just prove to you what we're talking about.
Yeah. And we have proven it enough times that we're not all talk. We legit care about every single person in the Small Brain Gang. But yeah, we would love to see you over there. We'd love to interact with you. Know about some things you want us to talk about. Some things we'll be brutally honest about. Me and Ronan are both brutally honest about every aspect of our life. So even if you have some personal questions, we will do a Q&A episode at some point, and we'll collect all the questions you have from us over on our TikToks or our Twitter or on Gilded, and we'll do a Q&A episode as well.
That would be fun. All right, guys, let's get out of here.
Don't forget that you guys are all the extra most bestest, best that's people we've ever met. This has been the Small Brain Gang. Next week, we will be doing just talking about our hobbies. I think that'd be a fun podcast episode to do.
Yeah, it would. Cheers, everybody. We'll see you guys next time.
Peace.